Okay, hi everyone. Um, so this is Sunday of week 4 of the Ascend Method workshop. I really appreciate everybody giving me the chance to I've been putting this together and I've been working on it. And so I just want to say that I really appreciate everybody kind of building this along with me while I get all of the like the little kinks and stuff out, and I uh, get everything finalized and can put together the master workshop. So, again, my name is Alicia, and I am pretty excited about this next part of the Ascend method, and that would be evolution. So, I want to just say, let me ask you something. How long is it? How long have you been thinking about changing, but just not actually moving? So, like, for instance, you're thinking about, starting a new routine, or you're thinking about working out, or you're thinking about uh, starting to train for a 5K, or you're so it, but for the 5K you need some good sneakers. So we're gonna look for some sneakers. And then after that, you know, you need some running shorts. So we're gonna look at some running shorts, but we're gonna Google the best running shorts uh for running in a 5K, or the best running shorts for hot weather, or the best pants for cold weather, or yada yada yada. Or and so instead of doing the thing, we're talking about doing the thing, and we're researching doing the thing, and we want to get everybody's opinion about doing the thing, and we're really happy about everybody else is doing the thing, but we're not really doing the thing. So um so I just really kind of want to put that, because I am super guilty. Not so much anymore. I have been working on this, but I'm pretty guilty about this. When I first started my journey, like, I'd seen this great workout program, or this new diet, or this new whatever. So instead of just like doing the thing, I wanted to read about it. Which I think all of these things are great. So please don't take it that I don't think you should do your research. And because especially in this day and age, you can research anything. You can watch TikToks about it, in Instagram. You can, so many other social platforms out there that I only, those are it. I don't know any of the other ones. And you can watch YouTube videos, and so I absolutely believe that you should do all of that stuff and read the reviews on your sneakers, or your fancy shorts, or whatever. But don't let that get in the way of doing the thing. Okay? Um, so this week we're not just thinking about it anymore. We're stepping into evolution. So this is our next stage. So that's what we're talking about this week. So welcome to week 4 of the Ascend method. And I'm going to be real with you, as I always am. And this is where things shift. Week 1 to week 3, we built awareness. We worked on self-worth. We got clear. But this week, this is where you prove it to yourself. This is where you really start kind of putting these things into action, and just kind of taking the next half of the workshop and putting everything that you've kind of learned so far, and then we're gonna start, the process of working on the person that you want to be, the version of yourself that you're working on. So evolution isn't about becoming somebody else. It's about becoming who you said you were going to be. It's the moment where your actions start matching your intentions. So this is where you're putting the sneakers on. This is where you're putting your fancy shorts on, and this is where you're putting on your fun outfit or whatever the case may be. So this is it. So, because clarity without action, that's really just kind of an idea. So you can think about, your plan and what you want to do. Um, but it just kind of if you're just thinking about it and you're not starting to move forward with your plan of attack or your plan of action, then yeah, it's really just it's kind of a dream. Dreams are great, but you just it's got to be more than just an idea. It's got to be something that you start working towards, and you can't. And my favorite thing to say is nothing changes if nothing changes. So I've definitely have seasons where I knew what I needed to do. I just wasn't doing it. Not because I didn't care but because I was scared, I was tired, I doubted myself, and I went through a long time of, when I first, because I've definitely been in the track of like yo-yo dieting or working really, really hard, and then just maybe not getting to where I wanted to be or not seeing the results and then just kind of giving up. And I've been there. I've been there a lot. And it's disheartening. It really is. And it can really put you in a negative mind space. And I've been there for that. I have been there. I've, more times than I could probably count. And I don't want to, because I'm not there. We're not looking at that stuff right now. So we're just moving forward, and because we are super, super capable of doing amazing things. So we're just going to move forward, and we're going to think about the next steps and think about maybe why you're hesitating. So maybe think about when you start thinking about the things that you want to do, what's that second thought? What's that but? What's that big but back there? Because I know sometimes when I'll say something, I'm like, I really want to do this or this or this. And then I'm like, but, so that's what I want you to start listening to, because we need to start shifting that but to, something different. And we've got to just start really kind of recognizing what that second thought is, so we can get a handle on what we need to work on to move forward. So you don't, I guess the biggest thing is too, is you you don't need to feel ready. You just need to have the willingness to try. You need to have the willingness to take the first step, because, that's kind of where it is. You can't get anywhere without the first step. You can't run without walking. You have to be clear, and you have to be willing to realize that you it's going to take some time too. So you have to be this, this is a lifetime. This is a mind shift, and this is what you want to do to kind of get yourself towards who you're trying to be. So you need to be willing to show up. You need to be willing to show up messy, and you need to be willing to stop waiting to be perfect, because that's, I hate to break it to you, and I hope I'm not trying to, be a bummer or anything, but there is there is no such thing as perfect. So I think the sooner you try to stop trying to be perfect, I think you're going to find that you are a lot more I think you're going to feel freer, and I think you're going to feel happier. And I think once you start accepting the bumps in the road and the things that kind of happen along the way, I think those things really, and it might take some time. I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, but those types of things, those bumps in the road are what's going to make you resilient. So those types of things just make all of your successes just so much more glorious. So you have to remember that um even when things are not going wonderfully, it is really just a part of, getting better and becoming the 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 future self that you're really working towards. So, sorry. Again, that's I get going and then. So, this week I want you to ask yourself one question. What is one action that aligns with the version of me that I am becoming? And then I want you to do it. That's evolution, not a full life overhaul. It's just one aligned step at a time. Okay? So, and it doesn't have to be big. It can just be one small shift of of your intentions of what you're trying to do. So if it's drink more water, then drink um one more bottle of water today. One thing that I like to say when people do, or I love step challenges. I think that's a really good way to get out there, get motivated. I think it's a good way to kind of challenge yourself, and it's a good way that that I personally feel that, most everybody can do, and you can do it wherever you want. But I also feel like it's a good way that you can help yourself grow too. So if you have a goal of, 8 to 10,000 steps a day, then just do, you know, 10,020 steps the next day. Or if your goal is 8,000 steps, 1 week, then try to move it up to 8,500 steps, or try to move it up to 9,000 steps. But those types of things are definitely attainable, and you just kind of have to, I guess you just have to kind of think about it where you're not looking for perfection, and you're not looking to be 100% of everything that you're trying to do. You just 1%, 1%. And that's another one that I love. And I will link a video about that, or a quote about that, because that's one of my things that I absolutely love. And if you really just strive for 1% better every day, then, look within 3 months, 6 months, you know, a year. So think of all those improvements that you could do just a little, just by 1%, and how much more that can expand to, and have huge benefits. So I want to hear from you this week. If you are listening to this, and you got through all of my tangents and stuff, I really want to hear from you guys. So what is one thing that you're committed to? And drop it in the comments, share it in the group. So I want to hold each other accountable for sure, because you're not doing this alone. I myself, I'm doing all of this stuff with you. I do these things every day, every day. It might not be 100%, but I am trying every day to be 1% better than I was the day before. And I just think that that's a super important thing, because I feel like everybody can give 1%. 1% more than you did. So you've already done the hard part. You've faced yourself. You've gotten honest. You've decided you wanted more. Now it's time to move. Again, it's not perfectly, it's just intentionally. So this is your evolution. This is your next level. So rise, evolve, and ascend. So thank you so, so much. And I look forward to seeing everybody on Wednesday. And I look forward to hearing from you guys. And I hope everybody is enjoying things so far. And have a great week. Bye.